lot of Americans decided that it was time for a new car last month. New figures out today show that cars were selling at the fastest pace in 8 years. At GM showrooms, sales were up 1%. Ford sales fell 6%. Sales at Chrysler were up 9%. Anthony Mason tells us the sales gain at GM came in spite of all of the bad publicity about deadly defects and massive recalls.
A day after another massive recall, GM reported surprisingly strong sales, up a modest 1% in June, but with 2 fewer sales days than last year, GM says that equated to a 9% gain. The first half of the year, the company said, was its best retail sales performance since 2008.
Yesterday's headlines compared to today's headlines, I mean, they completely paint a story of 2 different companies, it almost seems. But
Jessica Caldwell is senior automotive analyst with Edmunds.com.
Are you surprised that GM's reputation hasn't seemed to have been affected by this?
It is very counterintuitive. I think when you think about all of the recall news out there and you have Mary Barra in Washington, D.C. testifying, you think that there would be some backlash for sales.
This year alone, GM CEO Mary Barra has recalled more than 25 million automobiles after acknowledging defective ignition switches in the Chevy Cobalt and other of its small cars. But in May, nearly half of the owners trading in a Cobalt for a new car purchased another GM product. That's actually a higher loyalty rate than before the recalls.
Some people are just sticking by the brand. I mean, they are doing a major safety review. And, perhaps people think it may be a good time to buy General Motors since they're not going to overlook any quality issue, as it seems.
June was the 3rd strong month in a row for the automaker. GM says every brand was up if you adjust for the fewer sales days. But analysts expect more recalls to come and that the cost to the company could ultimately, Scott, be in the billions.
Anthony, thanks very much.